The word we've been using, or the question has been, would inflation took off with the war in Ukraine caused by external factors, energy prices and food prices, would that prove sticky? Well, the numbers we have today show it is exactly that. Look at the very end of this line showing this is consumer price index inflation back in 2020, about the start of the pandemic, steeply rising through 2022, and look at this latest figure. It's level, but level at a really troubling number, 8.7%. The expectations were this number will be starting to fall down to 8.4%. So it's come off what we hope is the peak here, but it is sticky. It is becoming embedded, to use the jargon, and we can see that. One of the reasons for that is this measure. This is core inflation. If you take out the volatile elements of inflation, food and energy prices, which go up and down depending on commodity prices, and focus on cost of other goods and services, many of them domestic. So this is UK output and spending we can measure this on. Core inflation is rising. Again, the hope was it would be falling, and it did start to come off a little bit in the spring. You see there, fell below 6%, but it's up and up again to 7.1%. And this will be telling policymakers at the Bank of England, crucially, that those inflation factors are becoming stuck in the UK economy. Effectively, what's happening, the cost of goods, or inflation in goods, is falling. Prices still rising, but not as fast. You'll know if you filled up your car with fuel recently. It's not as expensive as it was, but that fall in goods prices being offset by increases in the cost of services, the cost of going out, restaurants, recreation and culture, highest inflation in that area, so gig tickets, theatre, that kind of stuff, cinema, anything in that area, highest in 30 years. Now, let's take a look at one other factor here, wages. What's that? We got these numbers last week, the labour market. We have a very tight labour market in the UK. There aren't essentially enough workers to fill the vacancies in the economy. That's driving up wages. Regular pay is rising. It's 7.2%. It's still below that inflation number of 8.7%, but this increase in wages is feeding into the costs for employers. They're having to raise wages to try and keep up to attract staff, but that increasing wage bill on top of everything else is helping drive up prices. And all of that we factored in by the Bank of England, and their Monetary Policy Committee meets. They make a decision tomorrow on where interest rates go. It feels absolutely nailed on. There'll be a 0.25 percentage point rise to 4.75%. These figures today increasing the pressure to perhaps raise as high as 5%. It's already costing more than 6% for a fixed rate mortgage. The market thinks interest rates could rise to 6% by the end of the year. These are troubling numbers.